Hello, my name is Aretha Brooks, and welcome to my channel here at Essentials to a Journey, where we discuss all things mindset. If this is your first time, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. And for those of you who do not know who I am a mindset and self-care health coach, and I focus specifically on mindset and self-care. On this channel, though, it's specifically mindset. If you are interested in any of my self-care topics, you can head over to my self-care channel. The link is down below, and let's go ahead and get into today's topic of discussion, which is creating abundance from a place of skill development and receiving. Some of you, this may be a new way of looking at abundance, and if it is, I'm grateful, because that means we have a lot to discuss here, and that means maybe I have an opportunity to open your mind to something different and to just perceive things in a different way. So before we break into the topic of abundance and receiving abundance, I know most of us think about it from a space of like the physical world and attaining physical things. And I believe that's what we came here to do. We came here to create, to manifest, to learn about ourselves in the process of creation. And so with that being said, with abundance, yes, it is physical, but it also starts internally. We receive or we create abundance around us from an internal state, from an internal world. If you really think about it, how do you think that the people who started, for example, Apple, or who created sneakers, or someone that created the television, that all started from an idea? It came from something that was internal, that manifested into the physical world. So if that's true, that means that you have an opportunity to learn about yourself as a creator, and how you can create more abundance from your internal space. So with receiving, when it comes to manifesting or creating abundance or opportunities or just expanding the container, I like to think about it from a state of receiving instead of doing more, going out into the world, trying to make something happen. I allow myself to be in a space of receiving, knowing the idea, understanding what it is that I want, and then placing myself in a space of receiving. And I know a lot of people probably have a difficult time with receiving because it requires you to do nothing. It requires you to literally sit and be in a space. That's it. Just allow yourself to be present, or to just be and exist. And if that is difficult for you, I would suggest either learning to meditate, or improve your skill with meditation and quieting your mind, working with your breath, and sitting and having moments of just stillness. So when it comes to receiving, the way I like to think about abundance in the space of receiving is basically creating space. And this will take some probably practice on your part, and also some inquiry on your part, if you haven't already, to just sit with yourself and see already what it is that you have going on. So for example, if you don't know, or you are aware that you have a mind that is just runs 24/7, and you just have a thinking mind, and you never have or create space for yourself to just be still, then that's something that you probably need to pay attention to. Because receiving, again, it just requires you to do nothing and to just be and exist. So I would say, if you have rampant thoughts, if you're, for example, trying to manifest something, you're trying to bring a person into your life, or you're trying to create an opportunity for a career, what you want to do, and if you're trying to create abundant experiences, is you want to pay attention to the thoughts that you've got going on around these things. So for example, if you are trying to create more opportunities in your life, and you have a mind that is going in the completely opposite direction of that. So your mind may be telling you, opportunities never come to me, I'm always missing everything, or I don't have enough, or there's just some level of lack. You want to pay attention to that. And if you can become aware of it, you can shift it. And again, it just, everything always starts from a place of awareness. So you want to see what you've got going on. And if what you want to do is not push against the thing, you don't want to push against the lack, you just want to become aware of it. And once you can become aware of it, you can start to shift the conversation, but you want to do it gently. You want to be gentle with yourself. You want to start from a place of, maybe I don't have this, but I know there's an opportunity for me here. Or maybe there are opportunities. Because if you start to push against yourself, you can kind of place yourself in a position of like bumping up against yourself, and everything could just be counterintuitive to what you're trying to create. So just pay attention and go gentle. Be gentle with yourself. And that's how you can begin to create space. So you want to see what you've got going on internally. Once you figure that out, allow yourself to be in a space of stillness. And you want to tune yourself in the direction that you want to be in, whether you're trying to manifest a specific person, you're trying to create more money, you're trying to create some sort of job opportunity, whatever it is, you can have it. You just have to create space for it. You have to be in a position of receiving. Creating space is also just, again, I can't stress it strongly enough, just doing nothing. When you can allow yourself to do nothing, and you've already told the universe, you've already told that divine energy within yourself that I can have this, it's already done, it's already mine. If you're already living in the state of the end, creating space for it will allow the world around you to rearrange itself so that you can have whatever it is that you desire. So don't underestimate the power of creating space, of being still, of doing nothing, of resting, of playing, of doing whatever it is that you like or enjoy. That is what creating space is all about. And there are so many other ways that we can go about looking at creating space, but those are just some examples that I have. So creating abundance is creating space. Creating abundance equals creating space. You want to create space for the abundance to be able to show up for you. So another space, or another way to look at creating abundance from the space of receiving, is you don't do the thing that you do to disallow it. So if you are someone that is not aware, again, I would say go into meditation practices. You want to start to become aware of what's going on in your mind, and that starts with quieting your mind so that you can be the observer and see whatever it is that you have going on. So if you know and you started practicing becoming aware of what is going on internally within you, and you notice that you're someone who is not always allowing the thing, if you are disallowing, you need to stop that. Period. And I know it's easier said than done, but you can start to create practices that help you to get out of a state of disallowing. And for me personally, what I like to do is, if I know that I'm doing something or have been running on an old programming that was disallowing, I was doing something that was productive to what I originally want, what I would start to do is create a practice or something around what I want to do. If I, like, for example, if I notice that, I want to have more glasses of water every day. Like if I'm only getting 3 glasses and I want to take that up to 7 or 8 glasses, then I'm going to set a timer on my phone every hour to have a glass of water, or every other hour, whatever the case may be. But you just want to begin to develop practices around what it is that you want, so you're not disallowing. And, another thing that you can do when it comes to disallowing, if you're doing that thing that is going against what you want to tune into it, and you might need to shift internally. So you might need to tell yourself a different story about it. Again, everything boils down to your narrative. Everything is really about what you've got going on. If you believe that you can, it will happen. If you don't, then it's not going to happen. But also, like, if you are doing things that, for example, say that you want to, you want to become an artist, and you are someone who is not painting every day, or you're not doing anything that is getting you involved with art and creativity. You want to Stop doing that thing you do, which is not practicing every day. So you want to develop a practice around it every day. So if it takes 20 minutes or 30 minutes, or if all you have is 5 minutes a day, you want to set that time aside every day to help you to become a better artist. Again, this is about stop doing the thing that you're doing that is disallowing what you really want. So you want to become a better artist, or you want to become an artist, you got to paint every day. You want to become a better writer, you have to put pen to paper every day. Or you need to develop a steady practice around whatever it is that you want. So don't do that thing that you do that disallows it. That is how you get yourself in a space of receiving more abundance. Another way to receive abundance is to let go and surrender. And again, this is another one that's probably easier said than done, but letting go is just stopping the obsessive thoughts, stopping yourself from whatever you're doing physically that is disallowing or not allowing you to receive whatever it is that you want. And, you just want to let go, surrender, create peace around it, allow yourself to be easy about it. Whether this means you need to quiet your mind, you need to go and hit do some sort of gym workout or whatever it is that you need to do that will calm your body down, calm your mind down, calm your breathing, to just surrender and release it. So if you notice you're having rampant thoughts around whatever it is that you want, you need to do something, whatever it is that works for you, to allow yourself to be more settled, at ease, and allows you to just surrender and release. Surrendering and releasing can also look like, if you want to buy a house in a couple of years, and you've done everything in your power to create an opportunity for you to buy that house, but things still aren't working out for you the way you plan, maybe you need to let go. Maybe you need to allow the universe to rearrange and reorganize itself so that you can receive. So again, this is just about surrendering and letting go, because I think sometimes when we are so caught up in trying to create something and we're too tight on it, or we're like putting too much attention or too much pressure on things, it restricts the growth, it restricts the opportunities, it restricts your ability to be able to receive. So just surrender, let go, release it. If you have to pray about it, if you're not really into prayer and you're just a meditator, if you have to sit quietly every day to surrender and let go, that works too. Whatever it is that works for you, because you are the creator, whatever works for you to be able to release this thing, to be able to be free of it. It doesn't mean like you're letting it go forever. It doesn't mean that what you want won't ever come. It's just that you need to release some pressure around it. You need to allow the pressure that you've placed on this thing that you want to be decompressed. You need to be like I guess you could say a flat tire. Popping the tire and letting all the air out so that it's just at 0 point, or we're at a neutral place. Now, granted, a flat tire is not a neutral place. That's probably a bad thing. But you guys get my drift. Like, let go of the pressure. Take some air out of the tire, so that you can place yourself in a space of receiving. Now, the last point that I want to talk about when it comes to creating abundance, opportunities around yourself, is positioning yourself to receive from a space of skill development. Why, or the types of things, before I go into the why, is types of things that you can do when it comes to skill development. Let's say you are someone who's athletic. Maybe you want to learn to play tennis. I'm learning to play tennis. Maybe you are someone who is wanting to learn to sing, or so that means taking singing lessons. You're joining a cooking class, you're learning a new language, or you're taking a piano lesson. It doesn't matter. It can be around the thing that you want, or it could be completely opposite. You just want to develop a skill that will take your mind off of things so that you can create abundance. Now, I will say it's probably way more powerful to take a lesson, even if you already know the skill, you can also go back as a newbie and go in and surrender and act like you've never taken the class, you don't know anything about it, and just learn from a different space. Gain a new perspective around the skill that you already know. But again, it would be so much more powerful if you learn a skill development that is in relation to what it is that you want. So for example, if you're learning to play tennis, or you've been wanting to play tennis, you want to place yourself in a class where you're learning. Maybe you want to take private lessons, maybe you want to take lessons with other people, which is probably more powerful too, because it places you in a position of, you never know, like you're placing yourself in a position where you're letting the universe know, hey, I want to learn this skill. Maybe there are other people in this class that I have something to learn from, or is going to maybe help me create a better opportunity for learning to play this skill, or they have something that I could learn from. So you want to, again, to create more abundance, learning a new skill might be where it's at for you. So what learning a new skill does for you when it comes to abundance is it expands your container. So basically it keeps you open to more opportunities when it comes to people, when it comes to just opportunities in general around going to events or whatever the case may be. It also, it exposes you to new people. It also helps you to develop more confidence in whatever it is that you're doing. It creates opportunities. I've said that 1,000 times, and it changes your identity. It's all in who you are becoming. So if you know that you want to be the person that is the best tennis player in your community, well, to change that identity, to go into that, to be the person that is the best tennis player in your community, you're going to have to place yourself in a space of learning it from maybe a different perspective, and doing it consistently. This is changing your identity. So it's who you are becoming, your practice, your skill development. It's helping you to become the person who is the best player in your community. So those are some ways that I think placing yourself in a position, as well as skill development, helps you with creating more abundance. There are so many other ways that you can create abundance for yourself. These are just two in particular that work for me, and I think it may work for other people. It may even give you some new perspective. It might open you up to a world that you never even thought existed. So just give it a try, and if you feel like you've been stuck and you feel like you haven't been able to move the needle forward, this may be the message for you. This may be the thing that you need to take everything to the next level. It may be the thing that break you out of that stuckness. So whatever it takes, if you need to join a community, if you need to expose yourself to different environments, if you need to start communicating with different people, if you need to release the tension around yourself that is holding you back, do that. Place yourself in a position to receive, develop your skills, and watch how the abundance will just flood towards you, because you're also sending a message to the universe. You're saying, universe, I want this, and I want this bad enough to the point where I'm willing to go in and learn this skill. I'm willing to be quiet and be still and do that thing that feels so uncomfortable, because that thing that makes you feel uncomfortable is probably the thing that's going to take you to the next level. And it's, there's the saying too that, what is the saying? It's like we are gaining newer perspectives, or we are becoming better or increasing when we're in a place of uncomfortability. It's the growth and uncomfortability. So just being in spaces where you are most uncomfortable sometimes, that is the thing that will probably give you the most growth, is what I'm trying to say. So don't be afraid to, again, learn a new skill or place yourself in a space of receiving, quieting your mind, doing the breath work, going to the gym, taking the cooking class, whatever it is that you've been feeling called to do, do it, because there's something there for you. Now, I hope you guys have gotten a lot out of this. I've learned a lot just by sitting here and discussing it and relaying it to you. I hope this inspires you in some way. And if you like this, or you have something to add to what I just said, leave a comment, because I bet there are other people in this community that are probably looking for something that you have to say. And you never know who your message is going to impact or affect. So give this a like if you've enjoyed this, and please share, subscribe if you haven't. Sharing helps me to expand this community, but it also gives people an opportunity to see content like this that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to recently. And until next time, I wish you lots of peace, light, and much love.